Hello, Sam. I'm Joel Wilborn. May I speak with Melody Vick? Thank you. Well, hello, Yellow Mellow. How's your new home? Not bad. Not bad at all. Well, I know it's called the Children's Center, but you're 24 years old. You must be a little bit older than some of the people down there. Oh, really? Oh, so I guess it's just a name. They're just trying to help folks that got their childhood shortened, I suppose. Okay, gotcha. Now, see, you went to prison at 17, so I guess you should have gone to that center around that time instead of going straight to prison. That really didn't help you. But now, it's been a few years, but I think they're finally coming to their senses. So that's nice that they put you over there. Okay. So do you feel that you have a little more freedom? I mean, now I can call you instead of waiting for you to call me. Oh boy, yeah. I like anything that doesn't involve prison, and this center. It's going to let you connect with people that you can better relate to, and it will give you a chance to learn things in a comfortable environment. Because prison for a teenager, that's. I mean, how can you say anything good about that? It just doesn't make any sense, and I do commend them for taking this step, and I look forward to monitoring your progress. Okay. All right, that's good. Oh, wow, really? So that's another thing I've noticed with people that go to prison. If they're in lockup, they have a tendency of running into people that they know. And in some cases, they'll run into family. Wow. So you were in grade school with some of these people. Jeez, unbelievable. So is it a co-ed? Or do you have... Okay, so you can interact with the guys. So you can listen to Spotify, and you have a movie night over there, and you can work with animals. Boy, that's good. And wear civilian clothes. Okay, yeah, I understand you're in this transition period, so after you get out of that, you'll be able to feel a little more normal. And that's another good thing, because you just had a big chunk of your life just ripped away from you. And going to prison as a teenager, even late in life at 17, it shows that you grew up way too fast, and this gives you a chance to hang out with people that are closer to your age and have a lot of the same beliefs as you do. And I guess, being a little bit older than them, you can be a mentor toward them too. Well, yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. That is so good. And so I know before you left you were kind of apprehensive about going there. How do you feel now? Oh, okay. It's always good to talk to other people who've been in that situation, so you could at least get an idea of what you're getting into. And there's no better way to understand a situation than to actually be in it. So the best I can do is get secondhand information from you, and I hope you'll keep your eyes and ears open and keep me posted on other stuff that's going on over there. And maybe we can push to have people that's a certain age go straight there instead of prison. Yeah. So you'll only be there for a little while, then you have to leave and go back to prison, huh? Well, better late than never. And so hopefully you'll be able to get involved in the programs over there. And okay, yeah, that does make sense. That would be a big issue. I'm sure they look at staffing and conduct, and if it's going to benefit you or something. And you just weren't doing well in that prison, so yeah, that is true. Okay, good. Yeah, well, I felt that I just needed to check in with you, and I got your message that you'd been moved over there, and I was on your call list. It's I went through the process and stuff, and I might even be able to go out there and join the other volunteers and hang out with some of the other people, maybe make a difference or something. Oh yeah, it would be. It's about 300 miles away from me, but the drive would be fun. And plus, if I stay there for about a week or something like that, at least I can do some extensive volunteer work and understand what that program does. And maybe, who knows, promote it on the website and see if we can get loved ones to recommend that to the judge, that they're underage people will be sent over there instead of directly to prison. So it's a good step. And you're going to be my eyes and ears, like I said, and let me know what's going on so that we can move forward with this. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I would be honored to mentor some of your friends. Just have them contact me and, send me a letter or email or something. Oh, yeah. And as long as they mention you, I know it's coming from you, but, anybody over there, even a friend of a friend would be fantastic. Hey, look, I'm 100% in your corner. And I like this. I think this is going to do you good. And I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd be nice. You can call me whenever you want. Oh, certain time. Oh, okay. One bad apple ruined the all-day call. So you can only call certain times. And there are a limited number of phones. Well, it's still prison. You're still in lockup. Got to take the good with the bad. But in the long run, this dark cloud has a silver lining. Yes. Okay, well, it was nice hearing from you, and thanks for getting me set up for this. Yeah, of course. Yes, my pleasure. And let's continue our conversation in the future. And this is just great. I am so happy for you, and I look forward to hearing how everything goes over there. Yeah, and you can tell me some stories of some other folks. And if anybody else wants to do the interview or something, just let me know. I'll be happy to hook them up. Okay, yep. Hey, I love you too. You take care of yourself. Goodbye, sweetie. All right. Yellow Mellow was transferred from the state prison over to a juvenile detention center that specializes in educating, training, mentoring, working with children who have committed crimes and were convicted. This is something that should have happened years ago, because Yellow Mellow's 24. She was convicted of murder at 17. And they sent her directly to prison. Of course, over there, she gets tattoos. She gets into a lot of trouble. She gets, she's developed an attitude. She's very easily manipulated by some of the other inmates. So it's a really tough world for her. And, that's her That's her life. That's all she knows, is this life of crime. And now she's with people that are younger, people that are closer to her age and a little younger, and some of them are teenagers. And I like where this is going, because it's easier for her to relate to somebody that's 18 or 19, than a 32-year-old career criminal or something. I don't want to downplay anybody or criticize folks or judge anybody. It's just that prison isn't the right environment for a child. I'm strongly against children going to prison anyway. Their brains aren't completely mature. If we as mentors and parents and educators and leaders, if we set a good example and we work with folks and find out what's troubling them and where they're having issues and concerns, mainly just listening to them. We can keep kids out of prison. There's a reason we don't want a 15-year-old to go to war. Yet we'll send him to prison. And we can't expect the same thing of a 17-year-old that we would a 30-year-old. And I believe that before even going to trial, somebody should sit down with these children and talk, find out what's going on. And, it just could be something that they learned on their own. It was a flawed way of learning that caused them to lash out like that. And the only way we're going to understand is to actually do some background check on them, to try to figure out what is causing this issue. And, these centers are set up for that. So it shouldn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if you have a child commit a crime, send them to these specialized training centers, someplace where they're going to get the age-appropriate assistance that they need. And I know in today's society, we want to try to equalize everybody. We don't want to separate people by gender. We don't want to separate people by education or social status or even age. But, when it comes to medical treatment, when it comes to well-being, I think a lot of this matters. If a child is growing up with a religious belief that isn't shared by most people and is shunned by a lot of the society, if you put these people in the environment where there's a lot of haters, a lot of people that's going to criticize them anyway, they're not going to thrive. But if you put them in an environment with the people that share their same religious beliefs, or if you put them into a environment where people don't care, I think they have a better chance, because that isn't going to be used against them. And to say that everybody needs to be treated equally, you're going to be putting people in the same environment that aren't going to quite click. And, I have more in common with a person in their 60s than I do with somebody who's preteen. And if I were stuck on a desert island with, two teenagers and two millennials and two senior citizens, finding the group to hang out with is going to be a little difficult. And it's not because it's my fault. It's just that I don't share their common interest. So I would have to compromise. I'd have to try to find some way to fit in, to try to make this work, find the things that we do have in common. Maybe we won't share the same musical beliefs and understandings and history, and maybe we don't share the same artistic view on items or television shows or books. But it could be that we have all been discriminated against, and we know the feeling that of being an outsider. Maybe we share the same feelings toward family. Maybe we see eye to eye on certain political views. There's a few things that we can find in common. And I think the same thing goes with medical too. We need to look at gender. We need to look at economic status. We need to look at race. All this to provide proper medical care. When a police officer goes out and is looking for a suspect, you're not going to say that this person robbed me. Well, can you give me any description? No. Person. We have to be specific. He looked Hispanic. He looked Native. It was a male. It was a female. Young person, old person. Person had a missing arm. Blue eyes. These things are important. You can't block that stuff out in that situation. And certain races have certain medical conditions that pop up throughout their family. And so that has to be looked at. And certain age groups have certain issues that you need to look at. You can't walk in there and say, I'm not going to give you my age, and then expect the doctor to try to find out what's wrong with you. When if the doctor knew your age, could say, oh, this is a common issue within your age group. So I'm all for diversity. I'm all for equal rights and treating people the same in humanity. It's just that, when it comes to breaking the law, going to trial, let's at least have a select group of people look at that. This is a female who killed a man. Could it be a domestic violence that she finally had enough and turned on him? Could it be jealousy? Could it be that she just snapped? Or could it be because of her age? She just didn't feel like she fit in with her peers. Yeah, I could guess till the cows come home. It's just that we don't know until we sit down and listen to people and talk to people and try to understand where they're coming from. Then we'll know what's best to help them. We shouldn't just drop people off and think everybody's going to be treated equally and the same, and one button's going to fix it all. That's not the way the world revolves. It isn't going to fix the problem. If we want to end crime, if we want to keep people from getting out and going back, if we want to keep people safe and secure and to learn and to grow within the penal system, we're going to have to understand them on an individual basis. And if you're going to send 5,000 people to prison, you best be prepared to pay that extra cost of finding out why and how we can fix it. So putting her in this children's center, I think, is a good idea. And I really see some potential in this one. Now, in real life, the person that this is based on, and she's based on a couple of people, but she went to a children's center and she is doing absolutely wonderful. And I like talking about her. I like bragging about her accomplishments. And the one thing we all talk about is, even her and her friends, or our mutual friends, I should say, is that this was the best move for her. And she'll be going back to the prison in a few years. But she says that she's going to go there with a different attitude. She feels better about herself. And when I was talking to her in prison, she was easily manipulated. She was putting tattoos on, and she was getting in trouble and deliberately causing conflict because of different issues that she'd picked up within the prison. Now when we talk about it, being in the children's center, she doesn't think about that stuff. And in some cases she says, I can't even believe I did that. And that's because we put her in a new environment. We gave her a new perspective on life. Something parents do by nature. Something teachers, mentors, counselors, these are people that should be a big part of a person's life. We shouldn't rely on gangs who like to make people feel like they're part of the family. We shouldn't let our children run off and feel that they have to join a gang just to feel loved. And once again, as we talked about, when people call me and then thank me for picking up the phone, that's because they're looking for somebody that, not necessarily somebody that's going to be 100% compatible with them, but at least somebody who's attempting to understand them and will acknowledge that. There's times I'll be sitting with people and I said, I just don't understand your generation. I don't think I ever will. But there are certain aspects of it that fascinate me and that I want to learn more. I want young folks to know that I want to learn from them. And I want them to know that I want to teach them. And I've done that a lot. And I like that. I like setting the example. I have to do right, but I don't want to destroy myself to the point where I feel that I have to be perfect, because I'm not. And when folks that I'm mentoring see that I'm not perfect, what do I do about it? I make a mistake. Do I brush it off? Do I ignore it? Do I try to hide it? Do I lie about it? Or do I confront it and take it on and show them no matter how big the challenge, it's worth tackling, it's worth going after. And you don't always win, but most of the time you make some progress and you walk away learning something. Either you'll change it or you'll learn something from it. Well, that's my 2 cents. And I want to thank you for tuning in. And I hope you have a great day and go out and make wonderful memories for tomorrow.